Hey there, welcome back, and today we will revisit method overloading and we will check a couple of more examples which will make the concept in your mind pretty clear. Alright, so in here, first of all, we will be creating couple of methods and the name of the method would be sum. So let's get started. First of all, these would be like public methods. Definitely we will take help of a static keyword in order to get easy access to these methods. The return type would be, for example, int to start with, and the name of the method is sum. This method receives two entity, so it would be like int x comma int y. So pretty simple method, and this method will first of all print one small little message on the console, and the message would be adding two int entities. Pretty simple, right? And in here, moving forward, we would be simply returning the sum of these two variables. So let's do that. Return x plus y. So this seems to be good enough. Now let us call this sum method real quick, and the way is pretty simple. We will simply call this method by using the name of the method, and we will pass in two values. To make things simple, we will pass in the values like 1 and 2, right? And the reason why I'm adding the system.out.println, because this method returns a value, and that value would be also printed on the console as we are calling this method inside system.out.println. So in here is the output, adding two int entities, and the output is 3, which is perfect. Now friends, let's do some further modification in order to get a proper and better output. So in here we would be adding yet another message, and the message would be like 1 plus 2 equals to sum of 1 and 2. So pretty simple. Moving forward, we will simply copy this method and hit enter and paste it once again. Definitely there would be an issue, and the issue would be duplicate method sum. So in here we will keep this int x as it is, but we will change the data type for the variable y, and we will make it as a float entity. Alright, so this seems to be good enough, and as soon as we do this, then definitely there would be an issue, type mismatch, because we are returning a int, and inside this return statement we have this float variable, so that's not good. So we will fix that issue, but first of all let us update this statement. So we are adding one int and one float entity, right? So this is a better message, and in here we will not return in fact a int entity because we have a float variable in here, and possibly we would be losing some information. So the best return type would be float again in here, and as soon as we do this, our issue would be fixed. Alright, so this is good, and moving forward we will simply copy this statement and paste it once again, and we will say sum of 1.5 and 2.5 maybe, right? And we will simply type in 1.5 and 2.5. So this is again a good way of calling this sum method, but again there is some kind of issue, right? So if we hover upon this, then it says that the method sum int in the type hello is not applicable for argument double double. Now strangely we have this, for example, method int x and float y, and we are not able to pass in the value. Well, a straightaway issue is that we are passing in both of these values which are not in a proper format. So first of all, let us fix this part. So we will be passing in a int and a float entity, but again there is a issue, right? So again, if we check what's the issue, then now the issue is the method sum int in the type hello is not applicable for argument int and double. So there is again some kind of issue, right? And this issue could be fixed by using this literal f, and as soon as we make use of this f, now Java knows that this 2.5 is not a double entity, rather is a float entity. So this making use of f or d and specifying explicitly whether the entity is float or double is really important many times. So now if we execute this program, then definitely you will get a proper output adding one int and one float entity. 1 plus 2.5 equals to 3.5. So this is good. Now let me again copy this particular method and paste it in here. And in here, let me fix the issue. We will receive double and double, double x and double y. Again, the signature of the method is changed, so definitely we can overload this method, and as we are receiving double and we are returning the double value as well, definitely there is some issue. And in here we can fix the issue by definitely changing the return type, or we can also typecast. So let's change the return type, that would be a better option, and our issue is fixed. And definitely we can call in the method easily, and let's change the message as well. So it would be like 1.3 and 2.3, and we would be passing in 1.3 comma 2.3. Now in here we won't be able to see any issue in here because the default type of a floating point entity is double, so there is no issue. If we execute the program, we will get a proper result, and the result is adding one double and one double entity. We can also type in or modify the message as adding two double entities, which would be a better in fact option. And the output is 1.3 plus 2.3 is 3.59999, many nines in there, and at last 6. Alright, so the output is pretty simple. Let us modify this, what we say, message a little. Alright, so this is good. Now these examples will give you couple of understanding that how these parameters works and how important is data. When we are sending the data, the type is very important for calling a specific version of the overloaded method. So all of these are important, how we can handle it. In fact, if I copy this method once again and paste it in here, and I add in a yet another int entity, for example int x, int y and int z, so we are adding 3 int entities, right? So these kind of scenario are very much possible, because definitely in here Java can make out that in here we have 3 int entities, and whenever we are passing 3 int to a sum method, definitely this version of the method would be called. So there is no ambiguity. The basic and overall point is, for method overloading there need not to be any ambiguity, and we need to explicitly like send in the data in a specific format, then only a specific version of the method will be called. So method overloading is very important, and many a time you can make some mistake out of it. So use it properly, and let us check the output of the method which we just created. So the concept would be clear furthermore. So here is the output, adding 3 int entities, 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. So this is good. So this was the summary on method overloading, and I hope you guys enjoyed the lecture and understood the point that how important it is to make things proper in order to get a proper result. Alright, so this is Chan signing off. Take care and have a nice day.